Welcome to another episode of Queen3 and King. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We have back our special guest from last week because they clowned enough to where back by popular demand. Well, one of them popular, the other one unpopular demand. We have the producer, the doctor in the house, and we got the comedian John Yoggi in the house. So first, we'll make our introductions again. We'll be talking about celibacy conversations. Celibacy was just a piece of what we was talking about last week. I can't even remember how it came up, truth be told. But it got so hot, we decided we're going to carry it over. It got hot like y'all be hot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my.
Right? Some of y'all sitting on that hotness right now. Anyway.
I don't know.
It's a lot right now. It's a lot.
Let me get on to our introduction so we can dive right into it because we got an action-packed, busy show and something that my guests do not know today, my co-hosts do not know today. We have a huge BS3 announcement to make later on. Huge BS3 announcement, so you want to stay tuned for that. But we're going to dig into this celibacy stuff first. And first, out of Anna, Texas, by way of East Garland, Texas, standing at 5'2" 1/4 inches tall, Coco, Darling Nikki, the Glamour, Boney Maroney, Skinny Minnie, Nicole, talk to the folks.
Hey, y'all.
She got a little something in her throat. Forgive her. We'll work it out by the time we get
today.
back to it. And next, still in a contract dispute with Tulsa, Oklahoma regarding her title of Miss Tulsa. We can't really talk about it much. One of the judges is missing in the case, so we suspect a foul play, so we really can't. I didn't say it too much already. We got Meva, the educator. Talk to him, Queen.
Good evening, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
You start cracking on the last bit of that run.
Excuse me.
I thought that was just me.
No, that was her. And next, our special guest helping to fill in for our baby queen who is taking care of Prince Bronx. We have the Dr. Trauma Queen, Dr. Smith in the house. Say hey to the folks.
Hey,
and don't start waving until I done said your name. Yeah, I see last week we was nice to you. This week you're family because you done came back. So don't start waving until I say something.
So let's go.
Say
my name.
Okay. And next. The Dr. Trauma Queen. Say what up, Queen.
Hey guys, how are you?
And last and certainly least.
Oh, my.
That's rude.
We got the comedian, John Yoggi. What up, King?
What's good, man? How's everybody today?
Ain't nothing to it. So let's dig into this celibacy stuff. And I'm going to start with John. Since I ended with him just there, I'm going to go ahead and start with him. And I'm going to ask you this question, right? Okay. Folks talk a lot about celibacy. In your opinion, do you think they are getting it twisted and should be considering abstinence as a terminology instead of celibacy, considering the difference in those two?
Well,
and let me just say to the audience, the viewing audience for a second, I did not give them any questions in advance because I wanted their raw opinions right off the bat. So go ahead.
Okay, you are correct. They should be practicing abstinence, but this is the chance for them to get a do-over in their minds. You know what? I done philandered this thing all over the city.
Philandered.
Now I'm going to put this up on the shelf and see if I can get a little dust on it. It ain't dusty. It still ain't dusty. No matter how long you put that used car on the shelf, you can't put a new price on it. No matter how you change the oil, no matter how you put armor out on the tire, it's still old and dusty. So now you can't use celibacy.
Well, they got, nowadays they got these mommy makeovers and these vag rejuvenations. You sure you can't?
Bro,
that's a different kind of oil change.
Yeah, as soon as you hit one cone, and it's gonna be back to where it was.
John, no.
He asked me first. He shouldn't have asked me first.
He should not have.
All right.
Wow.
Well, let's go to the doctor. Drama queen, what say you? Should people be describing their situation more so as abstinence versus celibacy? Do you think they really understand what they're saying?
I think it should be synonymous though, because if you're celibate, you're abstaining from having sex. So I think celibacy and abstinence should be synonymous with each other. It's you not getting booty. Period.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, I'm not even going to ask.
You're not having intercourse.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to dig into that in a little bit. John, I see you. Just hold on, sir.
I'm not saying
Take notes. Just hold on. Mika, celibacy or abstinence?
I agree with Salena. If you're abstaining, it's the same thing. Whether you're starting over or you're like that from, like, if you're like Venus, it's the same thing. If I'm not having
go ahead, finish your thought.
If I'm not having sex, I'm abstaining, right? John,
like that kid in class that's got the right answer that can't sit still because all the dumb kids are saying the wrong stuff.
But I'm like that teacher. I crack your head, John.
Go ahead, finish.
You got a yardstick?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, I think it's the same. I think it's the same thing.
Okay, Nicole.
The ladies are absolutely correct. It is the same thing, because as long as you're not doing it, if the definition maybe this is the same, abstinence or celibate, either or, you're not giving it up. You're not giving the goods up.
Okay, go ahead, John. I'm gonna bow out. Go ahead, John.
Well, I'm just saying one of them is a virgin that's never drinketh of the water. And the other one that put the gallon up and quenched her thirst and drinks gonna put back on the shelf. Go on now. Go away from that.
Yeah, from a clinical standpoint, I believe Mr. John is pretty close to safe, right? So just like this individual, Akia Britton, has Googled, because that means I asked a good question because she had to go to Google to get this. She says abstinence usually refers to the decision not to have penetrative sex. Celibacy is a vow to remain abstinent over an extended period of time. And generally, for some, that may mean their entire life. Okay. So again, they're similar. The state of abstaining from marriage and sexual relations. Celibacy not only includes sex, it also can include marriage, right? So what these people are doing is actually closer to abstinence. They are just withholding until they get a reason not to withhold.
But now she said penetrative sex. So if they
see that, go ahead, finish it though.
Right. So does that mean that they're abstinent because they chose fellatio as opposed to being?
Yeah.
Spell that first, because my head started hurting when you said all them big words.
People.
Yes, there's a difference.
When they're not having sex.
Yeah, and see, for me, there's a difference, right? So let me just say this. I'm gonna try to use an example if I can. This guy I know, and I'm gonna use John. I done said it, John. Okay, so I'm gonna use him. There's this guy I know, a friend of mine.
I hate all these friends. I hate all these friends.
Who was dating this chick, and she was like, I'm abstaining. We're not doing anything. However, she had the rose when it was just a petal. Okay. And she was using that. And I was like, ho. What's the point then? You still getting the satisfaction. What is your point, your thought process for this abstaining? And I thought it was a cop-out myself.
That's not a cop-out.
Okay, let me just go on and put it plain. And Ain't that's listening, my apologies. But we got some other folks we need to talk to. So my point, you still going, I'm busting a nut, but I'm abstaining. I'm busting a nut, but I'm celibate.
Because
absolutely not.
You're not
doing
it
the soul tie. They're not getting the extra person.
Yes.
Then don't call it celibacy.
What do you call it then if you haven't had sex?
They're abstaining.
Maybe they call it that, but I'm telling you, they're not celibate.
Yes, they are. They're not.
And they're using this funky rose.
Well, see, the rose is just a means to an end. Without
it's a means to that end. To that front bottom end.
But they're not adding a partner to their, you know what I'm saying? They're not adding a notch to their belt.
Okay. They're not getting the STD.
They're not getting the soul tie because
they're not cleaning that rose they use.
That rose ain't never done nothing to none of y'all.
John, hang on. I need you to fix this, man, because they're not getting it. All right, so we got Awita in the house. Hey, my beautiful family. Alicia, I miss you.
Hey, Auntie Wita.
Hey, Marita. Hey, family.
Hey, Marita.
Hey, Linda. Hey, family. God, I'm really showing out with them. Mo in the house.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, y'all. And Lily said, hey, fam, and John. Wow, that means you ain't fam, John. Yeah, let's see. We got Keisha in the house. Oh, she is. Buckle up. Alicia, the kids abstinence mean you can do other stuff, just not actually have sex. Derek, why do we always assume that a virgin has to be some form of sexual contact? Explain. I mean, I think he's on to something, but explain. We got Gwen. Is that little Gwen or big Gwen?
Get out of here.
And let's see. A kid says, so those who are celibate are not partaking in any sexual activities for a period of time. It does not specify when you can start or how long you have to go. Right. It is a personal decision on how long you are abstaining. So you are being abstinent for a period of time, right? Celibacy, let me just say this. I don't think some folks need to get the regal honor of celibacy when you abstain, especially if you're using that little device. Yeah, that's and she put on there not partaking in any sexual activity. So you telling me that self-gratification is not a sexual activity. Anybody can take that.
You're right. Well, let me say this. Anytime you asked, my friend was telling me, anytime you ask a woman something like this, they're going to always twist it to make it fit what they wanted to do. Because that's how we got here with celibacy anyway. You're going to make me wait for something that you've been giving everybody on the block as they come by. And wait. And let me say that he also said this. The person that you really want, he ain't waiting. But the married dude gotta wait.
Talk to me. Yeah.
The married dude gotta wait for some time. But you've been passing out like it was cheese on the truck. And now when it comes time for your husband to come, you want to make him wait. Oh, now I gotta wait. Really? That's what we doing?
I just think that celibacy is kind of comparable to fasting, right? And so you giving up something so that you can have a closer relationship or trying to get clarity on maybe you're trying to get clarity on who you're supposed to be, if that's supposed to be your husband, but you need to figure that out first. And so you're abstaining or you're being celibate because you're giving something up so that you can get more information to gain clarity. I'm gonna slap you, John. Keep on.
But are you really giving something up if you're using devices? Is what I'm saying.
Yes, because sex complicates things.
That's like saying I'm not gonna eat chocolate chip cookies no more. I'm gonna eat cookies. They chocolate. They just not chocolate chip. I took the chips out of them, but everything else is the same.
But this is what you guys are supposed to be doing anyway. You're supposed to be abstaining until you find out who's supposed to be your husband. So but now we put
you are a comedian. You are a comedian. Now I'm laughing.
We put our pants down first, then we want to figure out who you are. And then when it comes time for you to get married, now here you come. You know, I know how I done did it wrong, so now I want to do it right.
But you're saying that people can't say I've messed up and I want something better. I didn't get anything from what I did in the past, and so because I know better, I want to do better, and I want to get a deeper relationship with whoever it is that I'm possibly going to marry. And so now I want to take something out of it that will complicate it. You're saying that people don't have a right to change their mind.
No, I'm saying once you take out talking too much, why you taking out the rest of it? If you're gonna take the booty, take the mouth too, because you talk too much.
So hang on a second. I'm to directly respond to Doc's question. What people can't change their mind? Yes, they can. This is what I'm saying. I don't want you to be fooled by what you're doing. And I don't mean you in particular. I mean that individual. Don't be fooled by what it is you're actually doing. It's simple as that, right? Because again, I respect, say, okay, I've done it wrong. This sex clouds the picture, right? Yes. It makes me, there's emotional ties, there's soul ties, there's all that other kind of stuff. Is that why you're doing it? Okay, and that's the only reason why you're doing it? So you're saying, I don't have a problem with the sexual act. I just don't want a real human attached to the sexual act, so I don't get connected to it. And if you're thinking that, I think also that's a misnomer, because I think you can get connected to a non-sexual device in a whole bunch of different areas, right? We're talking about this particular one. You can get connected to that device and start thinking, I don't need no man.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that
Say
too.
That again. Wait a minute. Say that right.
I agree with that too.
Then I agree now.
Yeah,
let's pause. Okay, the person who is recording this live stream, please stream your at the 16-minute and 40-second mark. We finally got some agreement from somebody. Hang on, let's get to some of these comments. We already know this. She said, John, know I love hating. We did cover this, where she said you can bust a nut and be celibate when you me and this with that monkey. Again, I'm talking about brothers too. I'm not saying just women, right? I'm talking about brothers in the same situation. If you kind of lie and say, you know, I'm celibate, and then you still choking the chicken, you know, nah. Diane said, hey, family.
Hey, Diane.
Monique said some people would choose to abstain from sex with a partner and themselves. Then she put the rose when they're celibate, especially if it's a spiritual choice. That's another element of it, right? Tara says choosing who you want to be sexual. Okay, Gwen just think it's funny. Is that little Gwen or big Gwen? And then Tara says don't hate on the sexual toys. Those are inanimate that help us women gain discernment. You heard this, John? That help us women gain discernment who to share our sexual energy with. First of all, I want to address the first part of this, John. Then I'm going to give you the second part. The first part, don't hate on the sexual toys. Again, Anis, I'm so sorry. My apologies. You can tune out now if you don't want to hear this. But I'm telling you right now, the females in my life that I've had serious relationships with, we go shopping for toys together. I ain't hating on shit. I'm digging it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, John, you can take the rest of it.
He can't.
No, he can't.
Those are inanimate. That helps us gain discernment on who to share our sexual energy with.
I think most things are good in their place. But if you're using this toy to keep from, like you said earlier, if you got something that's going to satisfy you all the time, okay, that's fine. But those toys can't choke you. They can't pull your hair. They can't slap you around. They can't hit you at the edge of the bed and make you think you're going to die. And when you come to you, oh my God. They can't do that to you. They can't do that to you. So don't let that sexual toy be your boy or your man or your woman.
Ooh, I gotta get. Anybody else want to address this?
I just need clarification on how it gives you. I just need clarification on how it gives you discernment on who to give your sexual energy to.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything on this before I move to Pastor Derek Smith's comment? He says, we always project our weak wills off onto someone else. Just because we could not control ourselves does not mean that another person can't. It's crazy that virginity is such an absurd reality. So God asked the impossible of us. Question mark. It's supposed to be quiet. It's supposed to be quiet. What you say, John?
I'm gonna let y'all go first. I'm gonna bring up the rear of this.
They're recovering. They dizzy right now.
What? Everybody should be.
What?
He is correct. But because we're undisciplined and we want.
And we're flesh.
What?
We're flesh.
Well, that's true too.
So, okay. So what? Go, you finish.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk.
No,
I'm just saying, I think that's why virginity is so absurd to people, because a lot of people are dealing with themselves in the flesh and they're not necessarily dealing with themselves as spiritual beings. And so they're like, my flesh wants some sex, and so I'm gonna have some sex. And so if someone is, especially like the way that people responded to Venus being a 41-year-old virgin. They're like, that's unheard of. And they thought that was absolutely absurd. That's because they're thinking with their fleshly mind and they're looking at it with
right.
fleshly lens.
And I think that's exactly what they're thinking with when they go for that rose. They thinking with their flesh. They're not thinking with their spirit. So if this is a spiritual journey and it's abstinence, all of it is going to mess with your head.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like they think it's a catch-22. It's like, that's that fine line, that lukewarmness. Like, I'm not having sex,
but you're straddling the road.
Like, I'm not having sex with anybody. I'm not getting soul ties. I'm not giving myself to anyone else. But I'm also getting my needs met, at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking what Derek said is absolutely right, but I think it's a lack of discipline as well. I mean, if that's one thing we have to add into it, it's discipline.
Of course. And ain't it easier to be disciplined when you put something in it that satisfies you? It's not a real need for discipline, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's like fasting from wine, but you drink champagne.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Lee.
Thank you. Now we see it like we see it. And then we discussed this. And, I forgot about last week. Yeah, that's just wine with bubbles there.
You still getting that need, man. You still getting that quench thirst.
Right.
That thirst quench.
That's right.
But without,
time. Let's see. So Akia says, I don't want to tell my business, but when I say celibate, I mean from any of those activities, dating, giving my number out, and any of those that's going to distract me from my goals, kids, or God. Okay. Wonderful. And hold on, I got to get the baby queen. You baby. Now I wish you could go to the. We want to get yours up first, so make sure y'all that I see Lily when she put them up. She said, if you're going to take away the booty, take the mouth too, because you talk way too much. John, #D. I love it. All right, we got Rhonda S. in the house. Said, hey, beautiful people. Of course, she's getting a kick out of it. She goes, I have concerns with what I logged on to. Dad just said, hey. John said, Keisha said, preach, John, I needs to meet. Wow. Kia says, Derek Smith, amen. Derek says that sexual toy can't get you a wet towel when y'all done either. Wow.
Wow. Steve Harvey talked about the towel yesterday.
Derek said Jesus was flesh too. Right on. Keisha says, Derek, you better tell it. If he did it well, I will need him to get the wet rag because I may be passed out. I don't know. Those vibration organisms may be spiritual. Wow. Alicia says, she's D. Monique says, no, sorry, Mika. All right. And then Rhonda said, is that celibacy or abstinence? You missed the first part of this show. That's exactly what we were talking about. Now, some people kind of alluded to it, but in other studies, they talk about chastity, right? And so some people are celibate, but they're not chaste, right? And to me, when I think of chastity, I think of an honorable thing, right? And because those people who are practicing chastity are not only trying to control their actions from a sexual standpoint, but they're trying to control their thoughts with it as well. So they're not trying to just say, I ain't gonna have no sex. They don't even want to think about sex. And then some other studies even go into it in forms of celibacy to say that means no kissing, no hand holding, no all that other kind of stuff. And if they mean no kissing, no hand holding, and all that other kind of stuff, then that means no rose. Mika, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you lost me with that no kissing, no holding hands. That's just a lot.
I'm just saying those who are really dedicated with it, take it all the way to their thoughts and their kissing and stuff like that. Let me get John before he passes out over there. Go ahead.
But if you kissing and hugging and rubbing and touching, right, it's gonna be some sex going on.
No, who said that?
It can lead to something most of the time.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be breathing hard out on each other, and you rubbing on me, and me you. Somebody gonna get something. Somebody get something. You play with that thing if you want to. See, that's what's wrong with us. We play. The devil ain't got no time to be playing. He tries to bend somebody over.
That's right.
Quit playing with him. Quit playing with him like that. If you're not gonna do it, then don't do it. Don't do nothing.
Okay, so wait.
Say that again, Doc. What'd you say?
So, John, you saying you let the devil use you?
Period.
That's what it's saying.
But I'm just saying. So you're saying when you're dating and y'all go
Why
out.
Why you say dating like that?
Why you say it like that though?
Because
like
I needed
you smarter. That make you smarter because you said it like that or something.
Basically.
Go ahead, Mika.
So if I'm dating someone, I can't hold their hands or kiss them without at least.
You're not saying
no,
that.
you can,
I'm just
but sometimes it really
that,
you got to have self-control though.
So what I'm saying is some people take that celibacy to that level and they take it to a chastity level. So when you start talking about spiritual commitments and all that other kind of stuff, and I'm willing to bet the reason why they go there with it and say no kissing, no hand holding, no all that rubbing and stuff is because they know that leads to the other. So that's why they choose to take it off the table. Because it's
not, but that's not for everybody. But like
I get it. I get it. Nothing that we've talked about is for everybody.
But now, but I'm curious about this. How many people wind up having sex that didn't plan on it? How many people just were holding hands?
Fantastic.
Next thing you know, you kiss.
Fantastic.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't touch me right there. And then
hey, John, you own it.
John said that's my spot.
Now, the only reason why I want to agree with him because I can't stand him and I don't want to agree with him, but I do think that there's a whole level of intimacy that comes with kissing that doesn't necessarily come with sex.
That's right. And to me, in a lot of ways, Doc, that sometimes you want to talk about a soul tie. I don't know if we covered this in the soul tie specifically, Mika and Nikki, but sometimes when it comes to soul ties, that kissing is a very intimate act.
You better
Oh yeah.
So think about the significance of the mouth when it comes to spiritual things. Oh, I'm being 100. Think about the significance of the mouth when it comes to spiritual things. And you kissing and stuff along with it, but you concerned about soul ties. You want to put a little kissing and a little la 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 la. That's okay, but as long as we don't intercourse, you reach around is okay, but you don't want to. Come on.
I think that's another orifice of where the spirits can be transferred. Like they can transfer genitalia. What if that makes sense? But they can also transfer in the mouth. That's another orifice or whatever. But I really like people who cheat on their spouses or cheat in period.
When you said orifice, that made me have to take a drink.
It's a different level of like you really felt something for you to kiss them in the mouth because that's a different whole.
That's right. Now you own it.
That's true.
That's right.
As opposed to just having sex with somebody because anybody can turn somebody over in the bathroom or something. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's
why we got to be in the bathroom?
I mean, there's a place
to that. Like what Usher and them said that was in the club, wasn't it? There's nothing really attached to that. But if you are face to face with this person and you are kissing them, there's a whole different level, I think, of intimacy,
right?
And energy.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
No, totally agree.
Let's see. Brian said, A-Trap said, I vote yes on the reach around. So I like this one. Pastor said most people lie to themselves about their level of self-control, and then that's in direct response to John's comment about how many people accidentally end up having it. Self-control, the kid says, we got Big Illinois in the house. He on work release today. He said, peace, man. What's up, Big Illinois? I put 5 on your books last week, man.
Stupid.
5 ain't gonna last that long, is it?
See, I'm gonna tell you, this is how my viewing audience know that I pay attention to them and they are part of this show. So Nikki Homegirl, Keisha said, totally off topic, but Nicole, can you please turn that pillow up correctly behind you? My OCD is going crazy right now. Your pillow is backwards.
Don't worry about my pillow.
Because Diane said, who is John? I'm loving him. Yeah, that is John. Man Talk Mondays. He is BS3 Radio, BS3 Network on Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. So tune in to him, okay? Monday, 7 o'clock. That's why he on here. Let's see. Lakeisha say, I agree. I take it all the way through. I don't even think about sex or have any toys, and I don't crave any of it. God had me where he wants. And I think you got a better shot at getting where you want to. Spiritually, if you do give it totally up, right? for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, Rhonda said yes because the flesh is weak. I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing anything before we get back. Ray to Kev in the building. He said, "What up, fam?" I'll get to some more comments in just a second, right? But to give up something partially, right? So here's the deal. Let's talk about offering. Let's talk about giving right now, okay? Mm-hmm. And so from a spiritual standpoint, we think about giving, right? Let's say, for instance, John is a millionaire. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just a thousandaire. Mm-hmm. And John gives $1,000 to charity, right? And I give $1,000 to charity. Who had the biggest, who had the biggest sacrifice in that situation?
You did.
Now again, it could be my lifestyle is a little different, so that 1,000 didn't affect me no more than it affected John. I understand the possibility of that, but you get my overwhelming, thought in that, right? It was a bigger sacrifice. That's why the grain of a mustard seed. See, for me, for some folks to give $5 in church, that's true. Big. But yet I can send $100 and then I ain't even thinking about it.
Right.
So which seed is greater? So when you abstain completely, which seed is greater than if I'm still grabbing that rose every Tuesday after Queen3 and King?
If you give $5 in church, you need to go back and start over.
See, John, what you asking for is the Lord to put you in a position to where you can only get $5. Don't you play with that?
I said what I said. Don't be coming behind me. Okay. I said you need to hit the reset button on life.
Okay.
I can't stand him.
So I'm going to get a couple of more comments, and then I'm going to bring on a special guest to help us with this announcement. And I might have made a mistake, but I'll fix that later. But I want to get to some of these comments. Okay, we got Katara says kissing in the mouth is crucial, especially in these COVID days.
We were just talking about that the other day.
You might just do a fist bump.
Alicia says so true, Doc. Richard said it's all gonna fall in the bathroom stall. A-Trap said bathroom, then you can take a shower. Keisha said, yeah, I hate kissing. I retched when a dude tried to kiss me yesterday. He said I disappointed him, but his lips were super wet. Wow.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Keisha said, right. Rita KF says, damn, now I can't stop staring at the pillow.
Y'all leave my pillow alone.
And then Rita KF said, thank you, Nicole, because she changed it. Wow. A-Trap said, I'm a dollar instead of a thousandaire millionaire. Okay, cool. Hey, beautiful people, Golden Brooks, living my life like it's golden. What's up, ma'am? Thank you for having us. And now let's go ahead and bring on this special guest and see what the hell
on.
Hey, man.
Hey, Mr.
What you want, man?
That's the BS3.
You've been married for 42 years. We know you ain't celibate over there.
Yeah, this ain't the conversation for me. Don't worry.
Hold on, just 1 second. Let me see if I have anything. So you got some of the copy points that I sent you earlier. Unfortunately, I did not upload one of the promo pictures that you gave me, and I'm not so sure I can get it uploaded this quick. I'm not as good as it is you all. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let you talk, and we'll play some of the promo, a couple of the promo videos a little later. So do you want to start this introduction, or do you want me to start it?
No, I'll go ahead. Okay. Coming up on February the 11th, we will have something called a comedy versus battle. We got two gentlemen that both think they're the king of BS3, and I don't know if either one of them are, but we got comedian John Yoggi and King Doc gonna be going at it Friday night. Yeah, Friday night, February the 11th.
All right, now
8 p.m. Tentatively. That's CP time. We'll figure out an exact time.
Yeah,
CP time.
But they're gonna battle it out with some jokes, man. I don't know if you got the side by side video.
Yeah, I don't have the side by side. I'm gonna play them one at a time, but I am gonna say again, comedian John Yoggi and King Doc go toe to toe on February the 11th. So again, this is a Friday night special for BS3. This is a first of comedy versus battle. And some may ask, how did this come about? Well, and this will be benefiting charity.
Yeah,
Did I say charity funny? This will be benefiting charity, Keegan's Place, in mental health awareness. So BS3 Network does not wait till May or whatever mental health awareness month is to try to give back and drum up some awareness for mental health. So this will be for charity. So we'll give back to that. The organization we've decided to help is Keegan's Place organization, because that's close to our heart. So we'll have Nicole talk about that in a little bit. But before we do, how did this come about? Well, John and I were asked to do this event, and be the, MCs of this event or whatever. And so we kind of got into it on who should have been the MC. John's like, I'm the professional comedian. And I'm like, so what that got to do with anything? I look better than you. So does that mean anything? And so what started off as a nice time, it ended up being in a challenge of sorts. So we went to lunch was it yesterday? Just yesterday? We went to lunch yesterday to try to work this out. We could not. We left the facility going our separate ways and not happy at all. And this is the result of this comedy versus that's coming up. Who? John Lewis. Yoggi Bear? Yeah, I've been wanting to get at him anyway. He always picking on my little sister. But you know what they say, Yoggi Bear. If you see me in a fight with a bear, jump in, help the bear.
Oh, God. Oh,
Mika, like, what am I watching here?
So now we got to talk. So I'm gonna get to defend Lily once and for all. So you always messing with my little sister. John Bronx didn't come out looking like you. What do you have to say for yourself, sir?
I'm shocked and appalled.
You hadn't saw that every time.
Nah.
Yeah. Jump in and help the bear. So he had an answer though. Ready.
Oh, God.
Ha ha! Y'all thought he was the only king up in this piece? Don't make me laugh. Leave me.
That was too funny.
Yeah, but we got to watch that again, because what is the funniest thing in that is the fact that this dude could not cross his legs, and so then he didn't know what to do. We've got to watch that again. 1 second.
Ha ha! Y'all thought he was the only king up in this piece? Don't make me laugh. Leave me.
That is absolutely
for me. Him struggling trying to sit up. That's the part.
That's hilarious.
I had a pill of mine.
That is hilarious.
I was
It's
dying
the
laughing.
several colors of red that do it for me.
And y'all didn't pay attention to his shirt. He got a King t-shirt on
I've
too.
seen it.
Wow.
Lily says, "Oh, I love it." Rada Kim says, "Nice." Derek hand clap. Brian say, "Don't let your toes touch." Hilarious. Golden says, "True."
We're gonna have to watch this together, Link.
Just
now.
laughter.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, we got some more to it. Y'all ain't watching it together. Here it is. Lisa said, "Bring it home, dog. Oh, you know I'm finna clowning. It ain't gonna be nothing to it." Golden Brooks.
Ugh, y'all stupid.
All
This
right,
is
Rhonda.
hilarious to me.
All right, so both of them. So she talking about, I know you. Rhonda said, "Y'all are beyond hilarious." Lily said, "I am screaming." Brian says, "The t-shirt." Craig said, "Roll on the floor laughing." And they're like, "Wow." So Salena and Nicole. Salena and Mika. We needed a representative from each show because this is not only a Battle of Kings, this in a sense is a Battle of Man Talk Mondays and Queen3 and King. So we need some representatives in the house. Now, I know when I asked Mika to come in and help, Ben is going to be the MC of this. Okay, but we want some co-MCs and some commentators, just like a sporting event. So we're asking Mika to come in and represent me and Queen3 and King. Are you willing to do so?
I'm willing.
Knew that would be easy. I wanted to get to the hard part. Salena, you got to represent man. Don't do it for John. Do it for Man Talk Mondays. We need you on that night.
I thought you could say do it for mankind.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta have his back though. I have to support him.
Hopefully he'll do you proud enough to want to. Yes.
Just for a couple hours.
Somebody.
So I'm playing an uplifting role. I have to uplift John.
Basically, something like that.
Yeah, y'all
but you
pray
can commentate on what's happening,
I got it, but y'all pray my strength the whole week. Like,
all right. So again, Ben will MC. We'll have Mika and Salena on as the co-MCs, commentators, and then you'll have myself and Yogi go toe to toe on this thing, and we'll see if we can raise some money for charity. And so, Nikki, you want to tell them a little bit about Keegan's Place? Tell them where to go. Tell them your mission, your vision, all that other kind of stuff.
Okay. As many
Hold on,
know,
before you go there. Before you go there.
Okay.
John dressing them different reds like Blake did this weekend.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He had on 4 different reds.
Trying to be Spider-Man. Have 4 different reds on.
Go ahead, Nick.
As some of you guys do know that I have a nonprofit organization for mental health. And just to give you a little bit of background of that, I have personal experience with one of my kids that was diagnosed with mental health, with a mental health issues or whatever. And so, of course, I never had to deal with anything like that. So once I received a call regarding the illness for my son, it changed our life dramatically because I had no idea how to process everything or what the channels were to go through. And it was probably about, maybe it was in 2017, but maybe like a few months later, God, for years I had prayed and asked God what was my purpose there, because I always felt like I supported others but yet didn't know what my vision was, his vision that he had for me. So I continued to pray about it. And one morning he spoke to me and said that he wanted me to start a nonprofit organization and for mental health, so that I can help other parents with their children or spouses or whomever. And in the beginning, I just didn't understand that vision. And then about 6 months later, I was laid off from my job that I had been out at for many years. And God told me that was my mission then, is to go out and help others who are struggling with their mental health. And with Keegan's Place, my mission that I have for Keegan's Place is mainly just to enhance people's lives and to help them in various situations with regards to mental health, and to get them to counselors that work with Keegan's Place or psychologists that work with them. So, or get the proper medications that they need. Those are all the things that we're doing with Keegan's Place. And I do have doctors on standby that will help anybody that's going through the process of maybe dealing with a family member, whether it's a mom or aunt or uncle or a sibling, anybody that you know. Just always support them, because there's so many people who struggle with this, but they don't know the right avenues to take. And I'm still learning things with regards to it. But if you guys would like to donate to Keegan's Place or find out a little bit more about Keegan's Place, you can go to Facebook, and the Keegan's Place website, or not website, Keegan's Place Facebook page is Keegan's, KEEGANSPL. And you can go to there and you can read about our mission, our mission, I just lost my train of thought. My mission and our
She saw that $100 I gave. I think that's
I know I didn't see anything. I haven't seen anything. I just lost my train of thought. But I have you made me lose. I lost my train of thought even more. So my mission and my overall goal for Keegan's Place.
Okay. All right. And I put on the screen here a second, and I'm gonna try to put it in the comment section if I can. But as you see there, I put the Cash App tag up there, which is the dollar symbol Keegan's Place, spelled KEEGANSPL. And then in your memo line, put comedy special, so that way she'll know and be able to track where these funds have come from. I started us off with our first $100 donation, right? Toward it. I've already sent that to you.
Thank you.
I tagged it accordingly. And let me see if I can also put that in the comments so it can kind of be there in case people want to scroll. Okay, yeah, so we got it there. All right. Let's see comments real quick.
Nisha Max comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to skip over those till we get back to this. Rhonda says, can donations be made using apps other than Cash App? Nikki, anything other than Cash
yes,
App?
you can do Cash App. You can send a check to Keegan's Place, or you can also do PayPal. And I'll get all those things for you.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna skip over some of the celibate conversation. So, Ben, are you ready for this MC man situation?
I'm ready.
It ain't gonna be nothing nice. It's gonna be no holds barred. John, you got anything to say? You got opportunity to back out now.
Don't make me laugh.
And I think it's only appropriate that we watch this one more time.
Ha ha! Y'all thought he was the only king up in this piece? Don't make me laugh. Leave me.
What's funny, I done watched this about 12 times today. It's so hilarious.
So I knew I was in trouble. My wife was laughing so hard, and that's why I say leave me, because she's laughing.
I'm surprised she didn't slap you.
All right. Well, hey, Ben, thank you for coming on, sir. We will reconvene. You can start dropping those promos on social media, the video. Post a side-by-side media video on BS3 Network's page and the flyer that you made and stuff like that.
We'll do. Looking
Let's
forward to it.
Now. February the 11th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes,
that is the time. It'll be live on Roku. We live on Roku. Just search BS3 TV. Download it today. Watching that. So it's February the 11th. So I know y'all ain't gonna be doing nothing for Valentine's Day. It's COVID. So sit at the house that Friday. Go out on Saturday if you want to. Watch this comedy special.
Send it to your main chick and your side chick.
Oh, wow. Wow. He's going to be busy for a while. So he's about to have the answer for that.
And man, Ted, can I say one other thing?
Yeah, definitely.
With regards to the Keegan's Place, one thing that I really want you guys to know is that with Keegan's Place, there's a lot of people in our communities that don't go and get any type of assistance with their mental health, or they may not even know what it is, because back in the day when our parents was growing up, they didn't know anything about all that, about depression and bipolar and all these different things that we have today. So just make sure that if you have somebody that is dealing with something like that, be a support system. Don't just blow it off, because you never know what could, because some of those illnesses can change into something worse. So we got to be mindful of making sure that we are supporting our loved ones and our friends and whoever it is that we are around. make sure they're okay. If you see a difference in them, make sure they're okay. Ask them, are you okay? They may not want to open up, but eventually they will come to you because they know that you are somebody who cares for them and who has their well-being at heart. And I thank BS3 for even considering Keegan's Place to sponsor.
John.
I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you. Ben, we appreciate it, sir. Any final words before I cut you loose?
I'm ready. And it's going to be funny. I know that.
Yeah,
that's one thing I do know. That's one thing I do know. All right.
All right. All right. We'll see you, man.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you.
All right. Let me get back to some of these comments for this celibacy thing because they done been off the chain. So start with Nisha Mack. She goes, I'm too old to be celibate. Sorry, I'm going to get my rocks off.
Oh, my.
Oh, all right.
Keisha said, Nisha, damn straight. And then Nisha said, I'm already throwed and not to bust one. Negro, please. Wow. Okay. So you can read for yourself.
Read it for yourself.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. This is real though in the comments.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, Miller and I ain't going for not busting one. Wow. And we got that already.
Who are these folks, man?
They people in our lives, man. Can we talk about the week?
John's.
Go there.
Let's see. Golden said, yes, I know my mom was OCD, but it wasn't a name for it back then. Rhonda said, supporting family and friends during this time is very important. My nephew committed suicide, and he was my sister's only child. It must be taken seriously. And that is on the heels of Regina King's son, that 26-year-old committing suicide recently as well. So, yeah, mental health awareness needs to be year-round, to be perfectly honest with you. Akia says, yes, please pay attention to friends and family moods and behaviors to support them always. Brian said, hell, at this point, due to COVID, I'm going to need to get my bricks out. God.
Whoa.
Rhonda said, sorry, Rhonda. Rhonda said, thank you, Golden. H-Rap, Rhonda, praying for you. All right, so this celibacy conversation, let's kind of put a bow on this if we can. There is so much more conversation surrounding this celibacy situation because I didn't even get to half of my notes on it. So what I want to do is go around the room. We're going to do final thoughts. Nikki, we'll start with you on our final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this one up.
Well, once again, I would like to thank you guys for just tuning into the podcast as you do every week. You could be doing something else, but you choose to watch us and laugh and be goofy with all of us on here. And I appreciate John and Salena for being on again. I love when the two of you are on here because the chemistry y'all have is off the chain. And I think he's like more like a big brother to you than anything, huh?
Yeah.
But also but also I just wanted to just thank you guys. I don't have a lot to say because I can honestly say that I'm not one of those ones who have been celibate or is abstained from having sex or anything like that. So but I admire the people who want to do that. I admire that. I just never did it. Back in my day, we didn't do that.
Did you see John's face?
We didn't do that. But I'm just saying, but nowadays there's a lot of things that everybody does. And I don't knock it. Whatever you do, that's your preference. But I support all you ladies that decide to do that.
Instead of celibate, buy a bit. Wow. Let me ask you this. So since Nikki said this, it's kind of got me thinking of something, right? So I'm gonna ask one more question. And Nikki, I'm gonna start with you since you gave your final thoughts.
Yeah. Is
having sex good for you? And I'm gonna leave that open-ended.
What did you say? I didn't hear the question.
And I'm starting with Nikki. Is having sex good for you?
My daughter's listening, so it is good if you're married. Kenyana.
Okay. All right. Mika, is having sex good for you?
Absolutely.
In what way?
If you're with the person, and I'm not going to say that I am a virgin, and that's not what I'm saying. But if you're with the right person and you, John, I will.
John, he's about to bust.
I will walk to Allen tonight, John. Try me. But if you choose to have sex with the person that you know in a relationship with or married to or whatever the case may be, I think it can be something that's super intimate and that you connect, you know, that y'all are, you know, connecting with and all that good stuff. And it brings about a little, helps you shake off your brain fog if it's with the right person.
Yeah.
It can be a blessing.
John, I'm going to save the doc for last. John, is having sex good for you?
Everything, well, in its proper context. I think we have used sex. We have used sex in a way that's not good for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now because we just do sex like we want to. Now we got all kind of stuff tied to us and memories that we don't need to have that we're trying to drag into other things. I think sex was meant for marriage and reproduction. So, and if you're having sex without that, then you the devil, and you need to stay out. Pull your pants up right now and stop talking about you got a busted one because you need to be hitting your head.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I got. Thank you.
All right, now on to the doctor. And hopefully you can address it from more of a clinical position as well. Is sex good for you?
I hate to say this, but I do agree a little bit with John that sex is a beautiful thing, right? And so I believe that God made it for His purpose. And so in the right context, I do believe that it's good for you, especially in the confines of marriage, right? Because that's what we're taught. But sex is also a release, right? And so
no, that's real talk.
It really and it's supposed to be because you're in a marriage, right? But you are able to release a lot of things that are pent up with having sex. And so that's why I say it's good for you in the right context.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. But either way, you releasing some stress.
Well, and in researching this topic, I got introduced to a new terminology, and that is called vaginal atrophy. I thought somebody was pranking me when I read it, but it says that this is an obvious condition whenever it comes to, you know, abstinence, right? Or celibacy. So, John, maybe you didn't hear me, or maybe Sappho Cliff didn't teach you these words. So I'm going to say it again. Vaginal atrophy. So that, you know, when you're in the hospital and you laid up and you can't move and your muscles ain't right no more. That's what they're talking about, except in the front bottom. So vaginal atrophy is a condition that is linked to abstinence, right? Now, they said that this alone should not be the reason that anybody should not be abstinent. And they said that the overall thinking is that sex is good for you, even though there are no direct links that says that celibacy is a link to poor health overall. Anybody disagree or want to add anything to that? So sex is good for you.
The word says better to marry than to burn. And
that's true. What my Bible say.
Apparently, we need to add that in there.
What'd you say?
Go ahead, Salena.
No, she said it. What'd you say, John?
Well, they say it's better to marry than to burn. Y'all burnt up anyway. So
you a lie, John.
Y'all on fire. I said y'all on fire. I said it's too late. Okay, it's too late. Too late for y'all. Go on now. Go on. It's too late. Mika, it's too late.
You a lie. You a lie.
Oh my God.
Because I'm walking this road.
A-Trap said that damn John got me involuntarily in the club. I don't know what he's talking about. He said chicken is good. Sex is awesome. Keisha says having sex is great for you. It heals all ailments, especially if you're trying to break your fever. Yeah.
Break your fever?
Yeah. And Derek, I put this up, displayed this, but I didn't read it. He goes, Nicole, it's too late now. Your daughter already heard you say that you used to get it in. Ray DeKale says Rhonda praying for you and your family. Rhonda says, yes, having sex is good for you, and with the right person, it should be good to you. I heard that.
Okay.
And then, Anika, this comment is directly for you. Do you remember what Coop said in Houston?
No.
Yeah, he asked me too. I don't remember.
I cannot
And
remember.
then he said, T, do you remember? He's asking me. I can't remember.
Okay.
Let's see what he say. You preaching, sweets. Okay, talking to Selena. Richard said, good show tonight. We appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you contributing. And I don't know if I read the sex is a release due to COVID and this back injury. I'm captured. Brian says, I think it's a recondition. What you talking about on that, Richard? Mont said, what if you do your kegels?
He's silly.
Kia said, sex is only good for you if you're with a person that's good. God sent for you. If you're laying with the wrong soul, them ties going to tie you down and mess you up. Lily said, another fantastic show. Love y'all. Can't wait to have you back, sis. All right. So for me, Mika, final thoughts.
I think to me, celibacy you can kind of walk into that involuntarily and kind of stick there. Because you do want to do it the right way. You know, and a lot of people do not go into marriage as a virgin, but in my mind, I think you can, not start over per se, but you can actually, want to do right and walk that road correctly. And yes, John, people do become celibate after they've had different experiences or want to do better. And so I feel like you can, I have, but when the Lord say different, I'll let y'all know. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, John and Selena. I love y'all. And shut up, John.
Craig answered the question. This is what Coop said. You don't remember him saying that when he was in the?
It's been longer than that.
Okay, that's so true. Rhonda said, Mika agreed. Rhonda said, great show. Thank you, Rhonda. Doc, final thoughts?
I would just say to each his own. So everyone has their own personal journey. So whether it be you being celibate or you being abstinent, whatever you feel is right for you in this time period that you're in, just do what you need to do to get yourself right, to get yourself mentally right, to get yourself spiritually right, to be able to have clarification on what it is that you need in the next steps in your life. And so if it's bending it over, bend it over. If it's being celibate or, abstinent, then do that. But whatever it is that's going to make you a better you and get you to your end goals, I would say do that.
Wow. All right. Which end we talking about? What end? John, final thoughts, sir.
I just want to say, yes, guys, you are right. I think sex is great in its proper context, but I also think what's missing in relationships is talking and communicating to each other. I think we put too much emphasis on sex a lot of times.
Ooh, that's
sex
what's up,
is
man.
really good, but sex also clouds you from seeing a person for what they really are and who they are. And you can't marry. Derek told me this today. Pastor Derek told me this today. You can't marry nobody or have a relationship on moments. And sex is a moment. And you're trying to spend a lifetime with somebody, and you can't do it based on a moment. So take more time to get to know each other before we jump in the bed, because you can't see. Once you get out the bed, you like this. I can't see no faults. I can't see nothing with them. All I can see is we just got out of bed. I thought he was going to kill me when he was choking me out, but now I can see straight. That's my final thought.
And Doc, tell us about your podcast before I get to my final thoughts, or your show, Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma. Talk to them about that and where they can find that and that kind of stuff.
Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma is a podcast for not just educators, but just people in general who are dealing with children or people who have gone through childhood trauma. And so it's just giving tools and strategies for your teacher toolbox or for your parenting toolbox. And you can find it on Google Podcasts, on Spotify, and Anchor at Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma.
And why can't we find it on BS3 Network yet? Say that, John.
I was gonna ask that very thing, but I was like, maybe she ain't worked. Maybe y'all ain't called her. That's why
I didn't call.
Okay, well, yeah. Why you went on?
I done text it.
We'll get there. Yes, we're working on it.
I put your ass on the spot, sure did. John, tell them where they can find you at, sir.
Well, I'm on every Monday with my partner in crime.
There you go.
The
boss man talking now.
Yeah, I'm on. We on every Monday at 7:00, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on. I'm about to blow up. I'm on BS3 TV. I got a show coming in the fall called That Man a Fool. I got some stuff coming on BS3 they don't even know about yet. So y'all keep your eyes over here.
All right. And for me, final thoughts. Of course, thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to John and Salena for tuning in. Wait a minute, still reading how to find you, John. Oh, okay, got you. So thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you, John and Salena, for coming again. We will definitely have y'all back. We're gonna do the whole. We'll bring the entire cast of Man Talk Mondays in for something, because these times are way too enjoyable. So we'll definitely do that again. So for me, on my final thoughts, I need to remind everyone of why celibacy and abstinence is in play. And that's because there's a direct battle. If you think me and John gonna battle on February the 11th, there's a direct battle between spiritual power and sexual power. Mm-hmm. So to remove the power from sex, celibacy and abstinence is in play, right? So again, it is designed to increase spiritual power and decrease sexual power. If you're doing it for anything other than that, and if you're taking the shortcuts, if you know what I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We talked about straddling the fence. We talked about be ye cold or hot, but not lukewarm. So anyway, we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all on the next episode of Queen3 and King, where we will discuss. Next week, we're going to discuss. Our topic is One Gotta Go. So these little fancy Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff where they'll put 3 shows or 5 shows up there and say one of them gotta go. Well, we're going to talk about several of them. It should be fun. We'll talk about that and see which one gotta go. So we'll look forward to hearing some of your comments on that next week on the next episode of Queen3 and King. Deuces and trays.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Are we smiling or what are we doing?
The Queen Bee has arrived.
What's your out then? So I'm gonna start with both of y'all's hands right here.
Look for my thumb.
Look for your thumb.
Like if you can